Hello, I'm Andy, and I'm going to read to you a monthly program called Tarot Monthly Horoscope for August 2018. And this is for you coming from Taurus. So let me shuffle my Kabbalistic tarot cards and let's see what they say. And this card that I'm going to pull has got to do with your first 15 days in the areas of job, business, and finances. For you coming from Taurus. It's a reasonably good card. So I would say that in your job area, you should be happy enough. You are quite comfortable. Your status is also pretty solid. And that whatever you try and do will go your way, except there are signs on this card that show that in the first 15 days where your job is concerned, you may appear to be very stubborn or wanting to be very dominating. So avoid that one thing. Otherwise, your planets are, this card, well, the Kabbalistic card is all about zodiac signs and planets. So my advice from this card is that you will do up to 60 to 70% well enough in your area of job in the first 15 days of August. Now, I'm going to use the same card to talk to you about your business areas. And it says expansion is definitely seen, but be careful while you expand that your support for you is strong, because this planet of shown on this card, they are all topsy-turvy. So they show that you can start well in the first 15 days, but as the days move on, some trouble can come in. Be careful of unexpected issues in your area of job, which may unsettle you very much in the first 15 days. And where your business is concerned, the same thing. You can get unsettlement where your business is concerned. So nothing is very steady. So consolidate in your area of business rather than to be adventurous. Consolidate simply means hold on to what you have, look after it well, don't adventure into new areas. So consolidate, and that's better. Your general finances are good enough, and they show that up to about 60% you seem to be able to function quite well in financial areas. Now I'm going to pull the next card for you, and this next card I pull will have to do with your areas of romance, marriage, and family for the first 15 days. Now if you find a new romance in the first 15 days, it's going to come a bit troubled for you coming from Taurus. And the trouble basically is the leadership role, the control, the domination. And so you shouldn't do that if you want the new romance to function well. And if it's your new romance partner who behaves that way, then worry a bit about it, because then your first 15 days of August may be in trouble where a new romance is concerned. So there needs to be a little bit of a wait and see. Don't dive entirely into it. Study your person of new romance a bit carefully. If you have an ongoing romance, it's much better. So you will already have been through a certain period of time with your ongoing romance, and you'll find that it's more stable in the sense that you have got used to each other and your understanding is better. So I make your first 15 days of August for you coming from Taurus regarding romance as ongoing romance as good enough period, enjoying it up to 60% or so. Regarding if you are married, and that can bring up a bit of bother. There are ego planets here on this card. And so the ego simply means who wants to take control. Is it your marriage partner or you? Well, it's you listening to me. So for the first 15 days of August, let your marriage partner have whatever say, and let your marriage partner have the control in the sense that you can share control with your marriage partner. Otherwise, there can be some unexpected issues which may bring differences between you and your marriage partner in the first 15 days where romance or marriage is concerned. And especially in marriage, as I'm talking about, you already know each other, so you will have known the character and personalities of each other. So give way in the first 15 days, and that will be much better for you. Your general family areas are nicely off. I don't see any problem from siblings or from parents. So that part is okay. Now, this next card that I'm going to pull is got to do with your lucky dates. I'll talk to you about your last 15 days after I finish a few of these. Now, your lucky dates for you in this month of August. There's a very interesting card you have pulled. And I would say that you coming from Taurus, I would definitely look forward to the 7th, the 16th and the 25th. They are exceptionally strong dates for you in the month of August. And on this 7th, 16th and 25th, whether to talk about your job, your business, whether to look for expansion or look for contacts, or whether in the area of romance or marriage to get it rectified or improved or got it to be exciting, choose the 7th, 16th and 25th. You'll find plenty of possibilities of good news and togetherness. And if you're chasing for a new romance, I would advise you to try your luck on the 7th, 16th and 25th. So these are your lucky dates for August for you coming from Taurus. This next card that I pull will have to do with your lucky ages for you coming from Taurus. And the lucky ages which I like for you would be the ages of 25 or 34 or 43 or 52 or 61 or 70. Now there are signs on this card that show that you have a special gift if you're of these ages, and whether it's in job, in business, finances, whether it's in romance, in marriage, you'll have a special skill if you're of these ages to get things perfectly right and to reap the rewards as well. So you see, I give an example every month of certain ages who are very lucky. Now if you are not of these ages, don't worry too much. All you need to do is to come see me for a 90-minute Skype session, or on Facebook if you like, or on WhatsApp. And I will talk to you about your next 7 or 8 years with the ability of having your date of birth and time of birth. And I'll look at your palms as well. And that's going to cost you USD 50 to know your next 7 or 8 years in detail in all areas of your life. But I'll talk to you a bit more about that later. So your lucky ages I've just given to you. Now let me pull the next card about your health. And let's see what the card says for you coming from Taurus. And basically the bladder, the bowels, and your upper limbs. That means your shoulders and your arms. These are the areas of problems. So be aware of these areas in the month of August, you coming from Taurus. Now I'm going to put all these cards back. Oops. Microphone fell. So I'm going to put all these cards back and I'm going to shuffle them, and I'm going to now pull this card to talk to you about your last 15 days. And let's start with your job area. And your last 15 days for you coming from Taurus are bad. Things are going to go very wrong where your job is concerned. You can lose a job very easily due to mistakes or due to arguments with superiors or whatever, so don't try that. Try to be very friendly with your job people, especially your bosses, and concentrate on what you have to do. There are too many distractions shown on this card, and the end news is the last 15 days will end in failure if you're not careful for a job. If you are in business, the card also says a lot of problems are coming to you in business-wise, so finances are going to be a source of problem, probably losing the finances. So there's going to be trouble for you, you coming from Taurus in the last 15 days, where job or finances are concerned. And as I said, if you are in business, the losses can be quite frightening, because it just shows that a hastiness and impatience in going after something in business will cause a lot of losses. That's how I interpret this card. So job-wise, be careful. Business-wise, be very, very careful. General financial situations are not good. So you really don't want to chase for contracts or spend on business or spend on any unnecessary things. General finances are very poor. I'm going to pull the next card, and this will have to do with your romance, marriage and family areas for the last 15 days. And this card is not so bad. This card says that try not to argue in your area of romance, And especially if you find a new romance in the last 15 days, it warns you of a person very argumentative or quarrelsome, and also a person who may have some secret motives or may not be opening up completely in honesty. So something of secrecy is around there. So try to find that out if you find a new romance in the last 15 days. And if you have an ongoing romance, the situation is much better. The situation shows for you coming from Taurus that the last 15 days, your romance area can improve. What you have to avoid is being quarrelsome or argumentative, and definitely do not want to be dominating or bossy. So if you can afford to do these things, your ongoing romance will be improving a lot. Now regarding your marriage, the problems are bigger. It's bigger because you've already know each other, you probably are together, you've understood each other, and so everything becomes extremely personal when you're married. So the warning here is, again, avoid any quarrel and watch out that problems of the past are coming to disturb your marriage a great deal. Could be related to finance, that's what I see most of it. So past financial mistakes or past financial dealings are now coming up to be spoken about, and that's going to put you under pressure if you are married in the last 15 days of August. And the other thing I might worry about is crossing swords, which means don't want to fight to take control. It's you who is listening to me. So if your marriage partner wants to have the last say about something, well, let that person carry on. That would be much better for you. General family areas are very touchy. You can have some problems which can come from children or from siblings or from parents as well. So you don't want to definitely consult your parents or consult your siblings to be interfering in your marriage. Well, that's what I have to tell you for this month of August. And as I said, I'm Skyping and I'm charging USD 50 for a 90-minute Skype session. And during this 90-minute Skype session, I'll tackle your next 7 or 8 years in detail, age by age, calendar year by calendar year. I'll have your date of birth, your time of birth with your palms, which you will send to me through email, your palm photos. And so I will do, with all that information, I'll tackle your next 7 or 8 years in detail. And with all that information you'll get from me, you'll be able to take full control of your next 7 or 8 years. So go to Facebook, go to Skype, and send me a message or send me an email, and I'll come back to you as soon as possible. And please remember that this 90-minute session will cost you USD 50. Well, until then, thank you and good luck.